The European Union was originally formed in November 1st, 1993. Greece, Italy, France, and Spain were a part of the original 12 members. Since 1993, the member count has increased to 28. The population for Greece is 10.77 million, and for France, the population is 67.12 million. For Italy, the population is 60.59 million, and the population for Spain is 46.57 million.
Since the beginning of the 21st century, Greece has seen both growths and declines in their population. From the years leading up to 2010, Greece had a population increase of over 60,000 people. But since then, Greece has had a population decrease of close to 139,000 people. They have seen their global ranking go from 72nd in 2005 to 84th in 2018. France has had a steady increase in population since the beginning of 2000. With an average growth of 0.45%, France's population has grown by over 1.7 million people. Even with that growth, their global ranking has gone from 20th to 22nd. They have also seen their median age increase by almost 3 years.
The total population in Italy was estimated at 60.5 million people in 2018, according to the latest census figure. The population of Italy represents 0.88% of the world's total population, which arguably means that one person in every 115 people on the planet is a resident of Italy. In 2015, the median age of Italy's population was 65.9 years old.
The total population in Spain was estimated around 46.7 million people in 2018. The population of Spain represents 0.67% of the world's total population. In 2018, the population of Spain was 46 million, and the average age increased from 31.7 from 1960 to 43.7 in 2000. The population density in Spain has changed from 75.1 in 1980 to 92.9 in 2017. Geographically, Spain is located in southwestern Europe, occupying around 85% of the Iberian Peninsula. Most of Spain's boundaries are water. It is the largest country in southern Europe. Greece is located on the southern side of Europe. Greece is a very mountainous country, with Mount Olympus being its highest point at 9,500 feet. Greece's coastline measures up to 13,676 kilometers. It borders Switzerland, France, Austria, and Slovenia. With the islands, Italy has a coastline of 4,700 miles, and about 40% of Italy's territory is mountainous. On the other hand, France is the second largest country in Europe. The coastline for France is 3,427 kilometers. France has a few islands that are along the Mediterranean coast.
Exports from Greece fell 2.8% year on year in December 2018, as shipments to countries outside the EU slumped 8.4%, whereas those to EU countries rose 2.6%. The top exports of Greece are refined petroleums of $8.16 billion, packaged medications of $1.3 billion, aluminum plating $617 million, fresh fish of $547 million, and pure olive oil of $515 million. The top export destinations of Greece is Italy of $3 billion, Turkey of $2.8 billion, Germany of $2.8 billion, and Cyprus of $1.74 billion. Efforts are being undertaken to promote business-to-business cooperation between Greek and U.S. companies, such as joint ventures or subcontracts, aiming at facilitating the access to the wider markets of Southeastern Europe, the Black Sea region, and the Middle East, leveraging Greece's strategic geo-economic position and America's technological and business leading edge.
Spain has traditionally represented a significant export market for the United States. Exported products include vehicles, machines, engines, and oil. Spanish investments to the United States have increased substantially in the recent years, making Spain the 10th largest investor in the United States in 2016.
There was growth in the U.S. export volume of trade goods to France from 1985 to 2017. In 2017, the U.S. exports to France amounted to $33.58 billion US dollars. In those same years, growth was also seen in the U.S. import volume of trade goods from France. The U.S. imported $48.89 billion from France in 2017. Trade in goods and services between the United States and France reached $139 billion in 2017, up 16%. Furthermore, the bilateral trade balance stayed close to equilibrium. France had a $6 billion trade surplus with the United States in 2016. Transportation equipment accounted for close to half of these exchanges. The trade flows between these two countries include all kinds of goods and services, which reflects the extent of exchange between these two economies. The United States had a surplus for certain goods such as transportation equipment and energy. France's major export to the United States are planes, gas turbines, and beverages. France is the world's second largest exporter of air and spacecraft and exports approximately $57 billion US dollars annually.
In 2017, exports from Italy rose by 7% from the previous year to reach an all-time high of 448 billion euros. Italy exported mostly machinery and equipment, which is 18% of total export, transportation 11%, metal substance and products 11%, textile clothing, leather and accessories 11%, food beverages 8%, chemicals 7%, rubber and plastic and non-metallic material products 16%. Main export partners are Germany 12% of total exports, France 10%, United States 9%, Spain, UK, Switzerland 5% each, Belgium, China, and Poland 3% each. But as of December 2018, exports from Italy fell by 2.7%, dragged down by lower sales of clothing and footwear, which is negative 0.3%, metal substance and products negative 1.5%, transportation equipment negative 9.5%, food and non-alcoholic beverages negative 3.8%. Shipments declined mostly to the U.S. by negative 5.7%, Germany by negative 2.9%, OPEC countries negative 8.4%, and China by negative 15.2%. Controversially, exports rose to France by 5.1%, Switzerland by 7.5%, and UK by 4.6%.
Infrastructure is a key element for maintaining development. All countries need efficient transport, sanitation, energy, and communication system if they are to prosper and provide a decent standard of living for their population. The European Union is aiming to facilitate the flow of goods and people between European Union countries by linking the national roads network. They are also responsible for the safety audits of the new network. To upgrade European Union infrastructure, the European Commission has estimated that around 200 billion euros is needed during the current decade until 2030 for transmission grids and gas pipelines. The Investment Plan for Europe, also known as the Juncker Plan, aims to kickstart European Union investment by organizing financial resources more effectively, allowing the EIB to finance riskier but more innovative projects, and also by getting rid of barriers to investment in the European Union. The core of the plan is investment project funding through the European Fund for Strategic Investments, with a capital of 33.5 billion euros, and also with the help from the European Commission. It aims to promote investment in strategic infrastructure and in smaller businesses and companies to the value of 500 billion euros between the years of 2015 to 2020. The development of the TransUnion networks was established as a priority in 1992 Maastricht Treaty. The TEN-E network is expected to improve the electricity and gas networks and also boost renewables. The aim of the E10 telecommunications network includes updating broadband networks and also launching TransUnion electronic services of common interest in the areas of health and public administration.
Greece has a modern infrastructure complete with airports, railways, and highways. There's a total of 80 airports, 64 of them which have paved runways, over 1,600 miles of railways, and over 73,000 miles of highways. As expected from an historical seafaring country, Greece has 12 ports and harbors and a large merchant fleet of over 700 ships. Communication is also modern. The country's telephone system is adequate, with networks reaching all areas of the main telephone lines and mobile cellular phones. Underwater cables transmit calls to the Greek islands. There's over 26 AM radio stations and 88 FM stations and 4 shortwave stations. 64 television stations are operating in Greece. Computer and communications are also increasing in popularity and availability. There's a large number of internet service providers operating in Greece also. France boasts perhaps the world's best infrastructure, and it's a bargain. Cable TV, internet, and telephone, as well as the metro, the bus, and the RER train system, all are likely less costly than comparable service where you're living now. From butchers to wine shops to over a dozen different cafes, parks, and gardens are all less than 15 minutes from almost any point in central Paris. And when you want to venture beyond that, the metro will transport you from restaurant to nightclub, from museum to cafe for around $2 US currency, all in the setting of architectural delights, historical landmarks, manicured gardens, and well-tended parks.
In regards to Europe's internet infrastructure, an increase in the importance of digital data now means that good internet connections are essential not only for European businesses to remain competitive in the global economy, but also more widely for promoting social inclusion. As part of its Europe 2020 strategy, in 2010, the European Union set 3 targets for broadband. That by 2013, to bring all basic broadband to all Europeans, by 2020 to provide all Europeans with fast broadband, and also by 2020 to ensure take-up by 50% or more of European households to ultra-fast broadband. And to support these objectives, the European Union has implemented a series of policy and regulatory measures and has made some 15 billion euro available to member states in period of 2014 to 2020 through a variety of funding sources and types, including a 5.6 billion euro in loans from the European Investment Bank.